Levi and I were blessed enough with the opportunity to go experience hunting in Colorado on the Front Range. Our buddies Owen and Colton with Front Range Guide Service invited us out. So with that, we had a 2 o'clock flight out of Memphis. In my head, if we got to the airport 20, 30 minutes before the flight takes off, we're in good shape. And man, I was wrong about that, and a good hard lesson was learned. I ended up showing up to the airport to check in, and when I get there to check in, there's nobody there. I mean, not a soul there. You would have thought they were closed. Levi and I just started going through everything, looking at the boards in the airport, looking at our phones, trying to find flights to our connecting flight, thinking that if we make it to our connecting flight in Las Vegas, we'll be able to get back on our original flight to Denver. When we land in Vegas, we look on our phones and we have to go to a completely different terminal. And it's not just a terminal you can ride a train to and pop up and there you are through security and everything. Boy, when we got to the security line, I mean, it was worse than any buffet line you ever seen. It was worse than somebody trying to get into the World Series. It was worse than somebody, I mean, it was the worst line. I can't even think of how bad of a line it was. There's nothing we can do. I mean, we're not making it through security. We're not getting on this plane. It's clear as day that that's just not going to happen. 2 flights is a lot. 3 flights is catastrophic. I'm not missing a 3rd flight. So me and Levi finally get through the security line, and I look at him and I said, man, there's a lot of things we can do in this airport. We can go gamble, go watch a show, go sleep in a hotel, but we got to treat this like Arkansas opening day. We're sleeping in the line. Levi goes through, scans his boarding pass. Bing! He's through. I get to my boarding pass. Red. Oh my God. She goes, oh, I'm sorry, it's just wrong seat. Here's another one. Gives me a seat. This is good to go. She goes, yeah, you're good to go. When we get on the plane, I'm looking 27A, 27A. There is no 27A. I be dogged. They gave me a ticket that don't exist. It's not there. I mean, it's not there. I'm freaking out again. I'm like, get a flight attendant. I'm like, my seat doesn't exist, and I know y'all oversold all these flights, so is there even, what am I going to do? She very calm. She's like, we'll figure it out. I'm like, listen, I can't miss this flight. If I got to sit in the bathroom, I'll sit in the bathroom. I got to ride this plane. So finally, she ends up getting me a seat in the very, very back. It was where the flight attendant sits at. I'm sitting there, for the rest of the flight. But man, I didn't even mind. I was just excited that I was on the way, finally going to make it to Denver. So it finally came time for us to hunt, after all the build up and negativity. And it kind of all just went away when we're out there on the Front Range, and the Rocky Mountains are right there. I mean, you can see them pure as day, and it was incredible to just, you can't help yourself but keep looking over and keep looking at them. And along with that, it's just these droves and droves and droves of Canada geese. It seemed like they were roosting on the very tip top of the mountain. They'd just pitch off of there and just coming your way. And man, it was unbelievable. Just everywhere you look, there's Canada geese, which I'd never seen anything like that before. And the views were, I mean, it was breathtaking. absolute most special part about this trip for me was this absolute drove of mallard ducks. I mean, when I say you could see them from 10 miles away, you absolutely could see them from 10 miles away. I mean, I remember looking out, this just cloud of ducks, and they're kind of coming our way. And they kept kind of coming our way. And I remember I looked down at everybody in the pit. I said, you know, there's no way in this world that one, we get to work these ducks, and two, that we get to finish them. But if we even get to blow our duck calls at these ducks, I mean, that's going to be special. This trip to Colorado, man, it was nothing short but eventful. And I think it would have been a really easy trip to just ride off from the start, you know, with all the mishaps with the flights. But we didn't let that happen, and thankfully we didn't, because, man, I got to experience some just really special things with a great group of guys over at the Front Range Guide Service. You know, there's a lot of takeaways from this trip, seeing the sheer amount of geese in the air and, you know, landing that many mallard ducks right there in front of the Rocky Mountains is, I mean, that's going to be ingrained in my mind for a long time. And, you know, along with all that, just Colorado and what it is and all the opportunities you have there, I mean, I'm pretty stoked to go back next year, and I hope that it's a trip I get to take, you know, for years to come. Just, you know, blessed that we have such great friends over there, and, man, I can't wait to see them again.
Bye.